Hey guys, it's currently almost 5 in the morning, and well, if you're wondering why I'm up this early or late, I guess it's because I've spent the last 3 hours compulsively exercising to burn off the calories that I consumed from eating way too much at dinner, and that's because I just have way too little self-control, especially when I'm eating food that I like. So yeah, but back to the real reason for this video, and that's because I wanted to talk about how social isolation, or what's it called? Social distancing, is my everyday life. And I feel like I should have made this video at the peak of the COVID-19 outbreak. I don't know, maybe for more views or for more attention. And more specifically, because I feel like it's not something that's being talked a lot about on YouTube. Although, I don't know, maybe there's a lot of channels out there that I'm not really aware of that have maybe talked about this issue. But yeah, so social distancing is my everyday life. I know that a lot of people have been making a big deal about the whole COVID-19 pandemic, and I don't know, just the fact that they have to stay indoors, and I guess, as most NEETs would say, normies are losing their minds over the fact that they have to stay indoors all the time. And people are bringing up studies about how domestic violence or abuse or whatever has gone up by what, like 50%. Suicide rates have gone up, and that's supposedly because people have to I guess stay indoors, are no longer able to work, and I guess can't go out and socialize on the weekends. And I don't know, I guess in some ways I feel for them, because, well, if I could do all that stuff, then maybe I'd be depressed, but that's more from like a hypothetical standpoint, because I mean, to be frank, I can't really relate to any of that, because this is pretty much how I've been living my life for the past several, I don't know, is 2 to 3 years considered several years? Yeah, I guess it is, right? Or at least several months. That's like, what, 36 months at least? No, I don't really know, because I basically lost track of time in my NEETdom. Haven't really kept a good record of how much time I've spent in the state. But yeah, back to what I was saying, and that's that, well, yeah, this has pretty much been my everyday life. And when you're like this, when you're NEET, I'm not sure if any NEETs watching this can relate, but if you're a normie, or I mean, by normie, I mean like someone who isn't NEET, and well, you haven't really experienced this lifestyle, time seems to fly by. And I know that people always love to say that, oh, time flew by, it's already 2020, blah, 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 it's a new year. But I mean, I guess that's true of everybody, especially as you get older. I feel like time seems to just go faster and faster. Kind of like, I'm not sure if any of you watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but, well, I'm not going to get into that but in detail, but there's this, I'm not actually going to talk about that, because that's going to take way too long. And honestly, I could go about that on and on about that forever, because I honestly love that anime, and I feel like the person who wrote it is basically the Shakespeare of 21st century. But anyways, yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, just time seems to fly, and because I guess as a NEET, you pretty much do these same activities every day. And well, when you get, I mean, I guess it's not too different from someone who's working some dead-end job with no progress and do the same exact task every day. But I don't know, maybe it's even more so as an E, because you're not really doing anything that requires any effort. You're doing things, you're just consuming things mindlessly and not really paying attention to your a lot of basic needs, having no responsibilities. So, you know, time just seems to accelerate and accelerate because you're just in this hypnotic state of I don't know, passive consumption, if that makes sense, and you're not really doing anything. And I feel like I can really feel this when I'm doing things that I'm highly addicted to, and which is pretty much mostly watching YouTube and listening to podcasts on YouTube. And yeah, like honestly, like 8 hours can go by and it's like already nighttime. It's like I can literally wake up, spend some time on YouTube and it's already dark, and like I'm just like, where the hell has the time gone? So that's what it's like as a NEET. And well, you know, given that the amount of inertia in my life as of now, well, nothing has really changed in this pandemic because, well, time is still flying by. I don't know, it was kind of exciting at the start because, you know, there's a whole, I don't know, it's kind of like a mix of excitement and fear when the whole, like, I don't know, lockdown thing started. And then I was kind of like, you know, I was kind of excited, like buying groceries because, well, I don't know, you kind of feel like you're in some like apocalyptic, like end of the world, like viral outbreak movie, and like everybody's like wearing masks outside. I saw some guy in my supermarket nearby my place. I'm not going to say which market because, well, like, again, I don't want to dox myself, but this guy basically was freaking wearing like a gas mask, I think, and then he had like t-shirts wrapped around his neck, and I don't know, like, and like 2 beanies, and like, or like a hoodie like over that, like not a hoodie but like a jacket, like he put the hood of his jacket over all that crap and zipped it up. And this guy basically just looked absolutely retarded. But I mean, I don't know, he looked retarded thinking back in hindsight, but at the time I was like, wow, holy shit, like I'm literally experiencing the end of the world. I mean, that's probably the most exciting thing that's happened to me in a while. So I guess for that brief moment, it was kind of interesting. Like I was like kind of thinking in my mind while I was shopping for groceries, like what the hell am I gonna do if somebody jumps me for my for my cans of Spam that I have in my shopping cart? Like I'm gonna have to like fight them, I guess. Like I was thinking like maybe I'd bash him on the head with a can of Spam. And I know that sounds kind of like disturbing and brutal, and you know, thinking back, like that's probably like highly unnecessary behavior, I guess. Well, maybe not, if depending on where you live, but I mean, where I live, I guess like things are pretty peaceful. Might have doxed myself there, but yeah. But you know, when you're living in the moment, I don't know, it just feels like when you're right there and like everybody's like panic buying, like freaking people, like literally, some guy literally just got the entire box of Kraft Dinner and like put it in a shopping cart. And I don't know, I was like, I mean, I didn't really mind at the time because I already got my few packs, but I mean, I imagine like people were probably pretty pissed at him. But wow, I'm rambling. Back to the main point. That was pretty much the only time when I actually felt time like come to normal. Or I guess it's in times of excitement or fear or intense emotions that time seems to slow down, and I guess where you're living life. But when you're in this state of just perpetual numbness, of mindless consumption, like some rat pressing a lever for food or for dopamine, for like to get their brain stimulated to get high, like some meth addict injecting themselves with with meth. I don't really know about that. I know about other drugs, but I don't really know about meth, thank goodness. But so yeah, those are the few times where, you know, I guess I felt alive, as bad as that sounds. But after the whole COVID hype, COVID panic, whatever crap wore down, and I actually got sick with the virus. I kind of I suspect that I got sick with the virus, but anyways, after all the hype wore down, it was basically back to the usual crap. I wasn't really doing anything different, living my everyday routine, I guess, and time sped right back up to where it is now, and I'm just speeding up faster and faster. The months are flying by. I'm getting older and older, and I don't know. It's definitely not a good feeling. I'd say, the whole reason I made this channel was that I'd hopefully gain some speaking skills, I guess, and become more eloquent, because I'd like to break out of this lifestyle eventually, because it's honestly, I don't know. It's really good, but it's really, I don't know. It's like I could work a dead-end job because I don't have a university degree, or I could stay NEET and leech off my parents, but eventually I'll have to get a job because they'll force me anyways. So I guess in that sense, I might as well enjoy it while it lasts. And hopefully maybe do something productive in the meantime, like make videos for this channel and work on my other hobbies and passions, which hopefully I'll get to show you. Maybe I'll eventually make a video showing my my daily routine. I'll try to make it cinematic so it's more entertaining, but I feel like I pretty much didn't talk about what I wanted to talk about at all, which is how my life hasn't changed. Or did I don't even remember, but that's just the consequence of being NEET. Or maybe it's just that I don't have enough practice speaking, because I pretty much don't talk to anybody. Well, as I explained in my last video. What else? I guess the only thing that did change was the fact that my parents are in the house all the time, and I kind of do mind it a little bit, just because as someone who's just naturally introverted, and that's social anxiety and all like my trauma aside, Asperger's aside, someone who's just naturally introverted, I do need time to recharge my battery, and I feel especially recharged when I'm totally alone. Just like the feeling of being completely alone, it can get to me eventually, and eventually I'll want to have some human contact, even if it's with my parents. But at the very least, I do need periods of time where I'm just completely alone in my house. And not my house, but you get what I mean. It's nice to have that just feeling of complete isolation, and that's maybe why something like social distancing really hasn't affected me at all, is because of just the way my personality is and how my brain is wired, I guess. And I don't know, is that, I guess in normal times, I'd be considered an absolute degen, an absolute Hmong, degenerate, whatever you want to call it. And maybe you'd be right, but in these times, could you actually say that I'm more well-adjusted, that I'm more well-adjusted for these circumstances? Maybe people like me are built for the apocalypse, for periods of prolonged isolation, because I feel like I read something about evolutionary psychologists hypothesizing that Asperger's or autism was actually it exists in our genes, because people with Asperger's and autism in the past tended to stay away from other humans, apart from the bare minimum of like procreating, whatever, and those people tended to survive longer because if you met another guy, another Chad, no, I'm just kidding. Well, whatever, like if you met some guy and he pissed him off, you'd have to fight him to the death, and he'd probably bash your head in with a rock. And yeah, so yeah, maybe I'm really just someone who's built for these times. Maybe this is a time when NEETs will rise up and inherit the earth as the COVID culls the normie population, and the NEETs inherit all of the wealth and whatever crap. I mean, yeah, fat chance that's gonna happen. And honestly, as much as I hate you know, the wages who talk shit on the NEET subreddit and put NEETs down, well, I really wouldn't want that for them, because, well, I don't know, I guess everybody's just suffering. Most people hate their lives. And yeah, so I don't know, that's as far as my empathy extends. Apart from that, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm probably rambling right now, so I'm gonna end the video, and hopefully I'll get back to uploading better stuff. Anyways, peace out, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed me walking around, and maybe that the extra motion made the video more interesting. But anyways, hopefully hit the like and subscribe buttons, and peace.